Stalingrad, the bloodiest battle in human history, 2 million casualties. An entire city turned into absolute hell on earth. From August 1942 to February 1943, 6 months of brutal urban warfare. The turning point. The Germans advanced into the city. The Soviets defended every field. Every street became a battlefield. No quarter given. Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941. By 1942, they reached the Volga River. Stalingrad awaited. Berlin High Command wanted Stalingrad captured. The city bore Stalin's name. Its capture would be a powerful symbolic victory for Germany. Stalin issued Order No. 227, not one step back. 23rd, 1942. The Luftwaffe launched a massive air offensive. Over 1,000 aircraft bombed Stalingrad for hours. 40,000 civilians perished in that single day. The city burned for weeks. Nearly every building was destroyed or damaged. Nearly Friedrich Paulus commanded the 6th Army. 330,000 soldiers. Germany's finest troops entered the ruined city with confidence. General Vasily Chukov commanded the 62nd Army. His orders were clear. Hold the city, defend every meter, no retreat. The battle became urban warfare. Every building became a strong point. Every room contested. The Germans called it Rattenkrieg, Rat War. 50 Soviet soldiers defended the grain elevator for 5 days, against overwhelming odds. When it fell, only 11 defenders remained alive. Soviet marksman Vasily Zaytsev became legendary. His precision and patience made him one of the war's most effective defenders. Mouse House, a fortified apartment building. Soviet defenders held it for 58 days. It became a symbol of resistance. By October, German forces controlled 90% of Stalingrad. But they could not dislodge the remaining Soviet defenders. November brought winter. Temperatures dropped to minus 40 degrees. Both armies faced a new enemy, the Russian winter. Soviet Marshal Georgy Zhukov planned a massive counteroffensive, Operation Uranus, a double envelopment to surround German forces in the city. November 19, 1942, over 1 million Soviet troops launched the offensive. Massive tank formations advanced from north and south. November 23rd, Soviet forces met 60 miles west of Stalingrad. The trap closed. 330,000 German soldiers were surrounded. THQ position update, enemy armor closing from east.
Copy. Northern bridge cut.
Or supply line 7. 6th Army found itself cut off, surrounded, no land connection to Germany. Field Marshal Paulus requested permission for tactical withdrawal. Berlin Command ordered the 6th Army to hold position, maintain defensive perimeter at all costs. Luftwaffe attempted an airlift. German forces needed 700 tons of supplies daily. The airlift delivered only 100 tons. German forces faced severe shortages. Food rations dropped dramatically. Fuel ran low. Medical supplies became critically scarce. Conditions deteriorated. Temperatures plunged to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Frostbite became epidemic. Thousands suffered from cold-related injuries. The Russian winter showed no. January 1943, Soviet forces intensified their offensive. Artillery bombardments increased. The encirclement tightened. Pressure mounted on German defensive positions weakened. Organized resistance declined. The perimeter contracted. Military cohesion deteriorated under constant pressure and harsh conditions. January 31st, 1943, Field Marshal Paulus surrendered, the first German field marshal in history to capitulate. Organized resistance ended. 91,000 German soldiers marched into Soviet captivity, exhausted, malnourished, suffering from frostbite and disease. Only 6,000 would eventually return home. February 2nd, 1943, the Battle of Stalingrad ended. The battlefield fell silent. 200 days of combat concluded. Devastation remained. The Soviet Union achieved victory. Red flags rose above the ruins, but the cost was staggering. Over 1 million Soviet casualties. Stalingrad marked the war's turning point. German forces never recovered the strategic initiative. Soviet momentum built. The tide had turned. 2 million casualties. Soviet forces lost approximately 1.1 million. Axis forces lost 850,000. The bloodiest battle in Germany declared 3 days of national mourning. The defeat shocked the nation. First major German setback. Invincibility myth shattered. Morale soared. The victory inspired the nation. Public confidence strengthened. The Red Army proved it could defeat Wehrmacht forces. German prisoners faced harsh conditions in Soviet camps. Disease spread. Medical care was limited. Only 6,000 of 91,000 would survive captivity. Paulus survived Soviet captivity. He remained in Soviet custody until 1953. Later lived in East Germany until his death in 1957. Stalingrad lay in ruins. 99% destroyed. Not one building remained undamaged. The city had become a wasteland of rubble. After the war, reconstruction began. Workers cleared millions of tons of rubble. Slowly, painfully, the city rebuilt. New Stalingrad rose from ruin. In 1967, the Motherland Calls monument was completed. Standing 85 meters tall, a memorial to Stalingrad's defenders, eternal remembrance. Stalingrad proved decisive. Soviet forces maintained momentum. German forces withdrew westward. The Eastern Front transformed. Balance of power shifted. Military strategists studied Stalingrad extensively. Strategic overextension proved catastrophic. Logistics failed under extreme conditions. Urban warfare doctrine evolved. Urban warfare tactics evolved dramatically. Defenders leveraged ruins effectively. Close quarters combat doctrine developed. Building fortification techniques advanced. Modern urban battle factors proved decisive. Bush and winter amplified challenges. Climate preparation became critical. Supply logistics depended on weather. 2 million casualties. Each one an individual. Someone's son, father, brother. Family shattered. Lives lost. The human cost really had nowhere to run.
The house fell in minutes.
I still hear the bombs every night. Civilian populations suffered immensely. 40,000 perished in initial bombing. Thousands small during siege. Fought between Stalingrad exceeded all previous battles in scale. More casualties than Verdun, larger than Somme, longer than Gettysburg. History's bloodiest single battle. Still politically, Stalingrad transformed the war. Soviet prestige rose globally. Allied confidence strengthened. Axis powers weakened diplomatically. Balance of power. Stalingrad became a powerful propaganda symbol. Soviet information campaigns intensified. Resistance narratives strengthened. Both sides weaponized the battle's outcome. Infiltration military academies worldwide still study Stalingrad. Urban warfare doctrine. Encirclement tactics. Logistical planning, environmental considerations. Battle remains. Crawl through the mud for days. My brother never came back. The cold was the hardest part. Survivors shared testimonies. Veterans documented experiences. Archaeological work continues today. Preservation efforts ongoing. Each finding adds historically. Volgograd welcomes visitors. Museums preserve history. Memorials honor fallen. Educational tourism thrives. Over 1 million visitors annually. Memory. Stalingrad's lessons remain relevant today. Urban warfare continues worldwide. Strategic principles endure. Tactical doctrines evolve from Stalingrad. History informs. Every year, memorial ceremonies honor fallen defenders. Flowers laid, silence observed, veterans remembered, families gather, new generations learn. Koreans agree Stalingrad marked history's turning point. Axis expansion halted, Allied victory became possible. World War II's trajectory changed forever. Decisive moment. Final statistics. August 1942 to February 1943. 200 days of combat, 2 million casualties, bloodiest battle in human history. Today, Volgograd lives. Children play where soldiers fought. Families thrive where armies clashed. Life continues. In memory of the 2 million who fell at Stalingrad, soldiers and civilians, Soviet, German, Romanian, Italian, Hungarian, made